Good afternoon. You are on to Nationwide on NTA. I am Ogochkuka Ona, welcoming you. President Bola Tinubu joins millions of Nigerians to congratulate Super Eagles forward Ademola Lookman on winning the 2024 CAF Men's African Footballer of the Year. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, President Tinubu greets Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie for clinching the CAF Women's Goalkeeper of the Year award and the Super Falcons for being named the Women's National Team of the Year. The awards were announced Monday night at Palais des Congrès in Marrakech, Morocco. The President notes that their determination, discipline and confidence show the Nigerian spirits and underscore the administration's resolve to build a better Nigeria where everyone thrives and succeeds. And now we join Gift George for stories that are still trending in the sporting world. And succeeds. And now we join Gift George for stories that are still trending.
Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Lookman becomes the second consecutive Nigerian player to win the CAF prestigious award after Victor Osimhen won it in 2023. Ademola Lookman had a stellar performance for club and country last season, scoring 18 goals with 10 assists in 45 games, which included the hat-trick at the UEFA Europa League finals, where he also got the Man of the Match award as Atlanta won the UEFA Europa League. He also helped the Super Eagles to get the silver medal at the last Africa Cup of Nations, where he scored 3 goals.
He definitely was the overwhelming favorite and the deserving winner for the CAF Player of the Year for men.
It's a very great year for Ademola Lookman, also a great year for Nigeria, as for the first time since 1996 and 1997 when Kano and Victor Ikpeba picked up back-to-back awards.
Nigerian Super Falcons goalkeeper Chiamaka Nnadozie also retained the Goalkeeper of the Year award for her performance for club and country. Nigerian Super Falcons were also voted Best African Women's National Team of the Year. In women's football, Nigerian Women's Under-17 Women's National Team, the Flamingos, will face Benin Republic on Thursday at the ongoing WAFU Under-17 Championship in Ghana, as the Flamingos beat Cote d'Ivoire Under-17 girls 3-2 on Monday in their second match of the ongoing competition. Nigeria finished top of Group B at the inaugural competition with 6 points and 12 goals after beating Nigeria Republic 9-0 in their first game. In other news, in continuation of the development of American football in Nigeria, Spartans have successfully defended their title as the Showtime Bowl Series XI for the season ended in Lagos. The season flag football featured 12 teams for 4 months, competing for the ultimate prize all the way to the grand finale.
We were 5-3. What it took for us was just us being able to stay focused. We see really good athletes coming in from other sports into flag football, and they fit in right. They fit right in place, right? That is to show you that the sport is very much inclusive.
Spartans won the 2024 Showtime Bowl Series XI after beating the Warriors 58-53. Sports update, Gift George, NTA News.
Senate has passed the Nigeria Insurance Reform Bill 2024, which seeks to address contemporary challenges for growth and innovation within the industry. Among provisions in the proposed legislation is raising the capital base of insurance companies in Nigeria to 45 billion naira. The comprehensive review of the Insurance Act, as explained in the report of the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Matters, was to enable Nigeria achieve the $1 trillion economy by 2030.
The law will really help in reshaping our economy for the better. It's therefore incumbent on the authorities of every nation to recraft their legislations to go in tandem with contemporary realities.
It also adopted a motion from Senator Anthony Siaka urging authorities to address incessant attacks in parts of Gombe State. Meanwhile, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has congratulated Ademola Lookman, Chiamaka Nnadozie and the Super Falcons for making Nigeria proud at the CAF Awards. Investing in the education sector and encouraging youths to be in school are sure ways of reducing crime and criminality. This formed the thrust of message delivered by the proprietor and chancellor of Hensard University, Bayelsa State, Senator Henry Seraki Dixon, at the maiden edition of the institution's matriculation ceremony.
Academic scholars and education enthusiasts were in Toru Orua in the Sagbama Council area of Bayelsa State for the maiden edition of the Hensard University matriculation ceremony for the 2023-2024 academic year. To be found worthy in a character and learning, the over 150 students took an oath to be law-abiding during their stay in the school environment. Proprietor and Chancellor of the University, Senator Seriake Dixon, says his passion for putting a private university was to build human capital development. He urged the students to utilize the facilities in the institution and study hard to become ambassadors of Hensard University.
You are the living testaments of what Hensard intends to do and what Hensard is truly about in the next 4 years or so, God willing. If you work hard and you merit it, we'll be here to send you out to the world. Then you will now exemplify the Hensard values and truly for the rest of your life be living ambassadors of the Hensard vision.
As the government will do all we can to support this institution. Of course, some of our students are here that are on scholarships.
What is this vision? Absolute academic excellence, absolute research excellence, and absolute entrepreneurial excellence. Practical skills. What Nigeria is lacking, what Africa is lacking, it's the skills.
And the promises are very, very much fulfilling, because we have seen that their promises they have been telling us, and they are keeping to it.
All I've dreamt about it has just came to pass. I want to say that I'm very happy for this opportunity.
Hensard University is the first private university in Bayelsa State with the aim of giving academic and entrepreneurship education to students. Justin Bemungi, NTA News.
In a decisive move to revitalize Nigeria's education sector, the Federal Ministry of Education has streamlined its focus into 6 key priority areas, a step stakeholders believe will catalyze the much-needed transformation. The development came during a consultative meeting between the Minister of Education, Commissioners of Education from the 36 states, and the FCT Education Secretaries. Zenret Demoon reports.
Under the Nigeria Education Sector Renewal Initiative Program, designed to shift the nation's economy from resource-based to knowledge-driven, 6 critical areas have been identified: STEM education, technical and vocational education and training, out-of-school children, girl-child education, education quality assurance, data and digitization. Stakeholders emphasize that addressing these focal areas is essential for building a robust and sustainable education system. The Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Tunji Alausa, highlights the indispensable role of state governments in achieving these objectives.
Our effort will coordinate our effort so that we can get maximum impact. And then we'll sit down and do joint accountability review. So we need to plan together, implement together, monitor together, and review our outcomes together.
One situation whereby we work together both at the federal and also at the state level to work together. Whatever initiative we have at the federal level, let it also be adopted at the state level. And that is when we start to see the improvement in terms of the quality.
To know what we want to achieve at the senior education sector, the intervention is not enough, it's not near being enough. Then we want to know the status of the National Senior Secondary Education Commission. Of course, we have a very vibrant view there.
The meeting also evaluates existing policies and programs of the ministry, with stakeholders expressing renewed commitment to implementing these priorities with vigor in the coming year. In Abuja, Zenred Dingmoon, NTA News.
The Bureau of Public Procurement, BPP, says it is set to intensify enforcement of compliance with the provisions of Public Procurement Act by ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs. Director General of BPP, Adebowale Adetokun, who briefed State House correspondents, said the agency is set to vigorously implement President Tinubu's administration's resolve to ensure accountability, delivery and value for public fund on capital projects. The Director General explained that BPP has streamlined its processes to monitor compliance, keep record of performance, and report weekly to the President.
There's no reason why we can't achieve 100% budget implementation. If we are very clear, if we are very direct, if we are very pragmatic on how we want to implement projects. If for us to also ensure that these MDAs are put on their toes, that this BPP should ensure timely reports to FEC, timely reports to the various key government functionary that monitors performances.
They revealed efforts to ensure proper scrutiny in the negotiation for the Presidential Power Initiative, Siemens project, just approved by the Federal Executive Council.
We actually scrutinized the request and found out that graciously government has saved about $115,000 through a negotiation. So that's a plus already. In just within these 2 weeks, we went into deep review and negotiation, and they saw the benefits. So these are the kind of things that money would naturally have gone into that contract without anybody doing anything about it. But we have been able to say no. We are working for the interest of Nigeria. You must come down from your initial price based on our price intelligence.
President Bola Tinubu has appointed an international development specialist, Aisha Garba, as Executive Secretary of Universal Basic Education, UB, that is UBEC. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, notes that Aisha Garba, as Senior Education Specialist with the World Bank, has worked in African and Western countries and is bringing more than 24 years of experience to drive impactful programs in education for human and economic development. The development specialist, an alumni of Petra American University in Jordan and University of Birmingham, will share her rich network with governments, development partners and communities, as well as the skills she acquired working in fragile, conflict and violent settings to deliver sustainable solutions in basic education. The President expects the new UBEC Executive Secretary to drive the renewed hope and vision of providing and supporting quality education and ensuring that Nigerian children become globally competitive. The Enugu State's road infrastructure program has made significant strides in improving the state's connectivity, economic growth, and overall quality of life. Kelechi Ochaha reports that prior to the current administration, the state's road infrastructure was in a state of disrepair.
Enugu State has been witnessing significant transformation. The state government's concerted efforts to develop and maintain its road network has started to yield positive results, positioning Enugu State as a hub for economic growth and development. The ongoing and completed road infrastructure projects in Enugu State are expected to have a significant impact on the state's economy and improve standard of living for residents, who have described it as a welcomed development.
We've gotten other governors before now, and they performed. I don't want to mention names, but some didn't. It's something to write home about, that this man, since he came in, even if you go to rural areas, like my Abuja village, he's even working there.
Unlike before, we don't have this kind of road, but now we can enjoy the road now. So I'm very happy.
It's a good thing. It's a good development. Our governor is trying.
While significant progress has been made in developing Enugu State's road infrastructures, residents are of the view that such developments should be extended to other sectors of the economy for total turnaround in the coal city and beyond. In Enugu, Kelechi Ochiara, NTA News.
We are not done with Kelechi as we link up with her live in that area, then to tell us more on this. So Kelechi, can you tell us the experiences of the people of the state before this time?
Good evening, Ogachukwu, and welcome to Enugu. In its effort to restore the past glory of Enugu State capital, the government-led administration has embarked on massive construction and rehabilitation of street roads and major roads in the metropolis, including roads connecting various communities in the hinterland. One of such roads is the 43.7-kilometer Penox-Abapanike Opinsuka Road, which was flagged off recently by His Excellency himself, where he promised the people of the area of using efficient contractors that would deliver effectively and a quality road within 18 months time frame. Back to the metropolis here in Enugu, this place we are now is New Heaven Junction. It will interest you to know that New Heaven Junction is a connecting point to strategic locations in Enugu. This is Bisala Road. Up there is Bisala Road. Bisala Road takes you to the Lion Building, which is the state government house. At my right there is the road that takes you to New Market 9th Mile Enugu Expressway. Up there by the New Heaven Road takes you to Abakaliki Road, Enugu, Port Harcourt Road. All these efforts by the state government is to facilitate economic growth, improve the standard of living of the people of Enugu State, and also to position Enugu State as the premier destination for investment, tourism, and living. That's all we have from Enugu. Abuja can take it up here for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Kelechi, for that update. And we now continue from here, as you said. Now, the federal government, in collaboration with the World Bank, has committed $600 million for the rehabilitation of 200,000 kilometers of rural roads across the country. Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, says the initiative will be implemented through the Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Projects. Musa Baba Aliyu reports.
Records indicate that there are approximately 200,000 kilometers of rural roads in Nigeria, of which about 40,000 kilometers are in poor condition. This has been identified as a significant obstacle to the social and economic well-being of millions of rural dwellers. For instance, in a community located in Ndoku West local government area of Delta State, many farmers, including women and the elderly, rely on motorcycles and bicycles due to poor condition of the rural roads.
If you want to go and fetch water, you can go with it. If you are going out, you can go with anything, anywhere that you are going to.
The federal government partnership with the World Bank therefore aims to construct these routes in the 19 states across the country. The project will be executed under the Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Projects RAMP.
The World Bank has agreed to support the ministry in its quest for the attainment of food security through a facility that is currently ongoing, and discussions ongoing with that respect.
The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, announced that out of the $600 million, federal and state local government will provide $100 million as counterpart funds. According to the agreement, benefiting states are required to establish rural access road authorities and state road funds to ensure road maintenance and sustainability.
Federal components will enable us to intervene in selected, and strategic locations where there is massive agricultural production activities requiring that we intervene to allow evacuation of foods and at the same time promote the marketing, of these products.
The road projects are expected to improve the transportation of agricultural produce, enhance farmers' incomes, and help eradicate poverty among rural communities. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
And the next set of reports will be coming from Lagos, and Adiola is there to guide us. And Adiola.
In demonstrating its commitment in the fight against corruption and financial crimes, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has busted a syndicate of cybercrime and cryptocurrency investment fraud. Executive Chairman of the Commission, represented by the Director of Public Affairs, said a total of 792 suspects were arrested while updating the media on the current arrest in Lagos. Dana Jale reports.
The 792 suspects of cybercrime and cryptocurrency investment fraud were apprehended during an operation by the intelligence team of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) at their hideout, a 7-story edifice known as Big Leaf Building, located on number 7 Oedolaiemi Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, following months of surveillance and monitoring of their activities.
They use that building to train young Nigerians in the art of initiating romance and investment scams, and also they use the identities of these Nigerians to perpetrate criminal activities.
The syndicate include 500 Nigerians, 148 Chinese, 40 Filipinos, 2 Kazakstanis, 1 Pakistani, and an Indonesian arrested by the EFCC during the single largest operation.
Once the Nigerians are able to win the confidence of the new victims, the foreigners will take over the actual task of defrauding the victim and then proceed to rob Nigerian accomplices for the network. This will then leave them with the dark about the transaction.
Items recovered during the operation include high-end desktop computers, 500 SIM cards, used to create fake profiles that provide the syndicate access to foreign communication online through social media platforms.
This is not a career. It is not sustainable. And then the future belongs to them. And if they do not plan for the future, then their future is already captured. We are telling them every day that they should abandon this way and embrace responsible career.
The Director of Public Affairs said the suspects are currently in custody of the EFCC and will soon be charged to court after investigation is concluded. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Security of lives and property is a major cause for concern this period of festivities, and policing have become the responsibility of all. Again, Diana Ajale reports on measures that should be deployed to ensure maximum security of residents in Lagos State.
The end of every year marks a peak period that usually characterized with festivities, increasing vehicular movement, goods and services. While many lay their guards down to unwind, celebrate and marry, those with criminal tendencies take advantage to carry out their nefarious activities. Government often takes it upon itself to provide security for the citizenry. And for a mega city like Lagos, the tax is even huge due to the growing population. Commandant, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in the state says more than 3,000 personnel would be deployed to work with sister agencies to curb any form of threat before, during and after the festivities.
And we intensify our intelligence gathering to know how to mitigate all these threats. And working with various communities in the state, we are able to develop strategy for us to provide adequate protection.
On individual level, respondents suggest measures that should be adopted to nip such crime in the bud.
We need to be more, conversant with things around us. Be at alert and be on guard.
Ensure that they put all necessary force people in place. And also my fellow Nigerians to be watchful of the environment wherever they go. Know what is going on around you, and when you see something, try to say something.
It is hoped that Lagos residents will mark the festive period without loss of lives and property. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
And those are reports from Lagos. Nationwide will continue in Maiduguri after this break.
The news belt now continues in Maiduguri.
towards strengthening social cohesion and peace within the Northeast region, Northeast Development Commission, NEDC, in collaboration with partners, has organized a 3-day workshop for journalists and civil society organizations on non-kinetic approaches in fighting insurgency. Murjanatu Hassan completes the story.
The 3-day training aimed at enhancing the capacity of the media and civil society organizations is also expected to equip journalists and CSOs with skills and strategies to promote non-kinetic approaches towards ending violent extremism with a view to fostering peace in Northeast Nigeria. Managing Director NEDC Muhammad Goni Al-Kali underscored the role of the media and civil society organizations in containing violent extremism and the necessity for collaboration among actors for greater results.
Non-kinetic is a very viable option that is complementary to as to the kinetic aspect of it, quite all right.
The lead consultant, Muhammad Kudu Abubakar, dwelt on the choice of topic as an effort towards understanding insurgency and non-kinetic approaches, as well as the role of media and civil society organizations on techniques for conflict-sensitive reporting.
We should also look at the other subtle ways that we can use to gain their confidence, that we can use to dissuade them from becoming insurgents, that we can use to dissuade and impact them to becoming good citizens of Nigeria.
Borno State Chairman of NUJ, among other speakers, commended the organizers, describing the training and the choice of media and CSOs as timely, and charged participants to use the opportunity in changing the narrative of the Northeast region regarding insurgency. Papers expected to be delivered by veteran broadcasters include advocacy strategies for CSOs, peace building and social cohesion, as well as media engagement for policy influence, among others. In Maiduguri, Murjanatu Hassan, NTA News.
Away from that now to tell you that in response to the recent increase in the cases of fire outbreaks across Borno State, National Emergency Management Agency NEMA has conducted a training session on grassroots emergency management and fire prevention. Elizabeth Abdul Malik was there for us.
This training session targeting emergency management and prevention is a mechanism put in place to prevent continuous loss of lives and property occasioned by fire outbreaks, especially at the grassroots level. Zonal Coordinator NEMA in charge of the Northeast Zone, Siraju Garba, emphasized the importance of adhering to safety protocols and commended corps members for their dedication to disaster management.
We believe that the orientation of our people needs to be improved. Because they don't know the dangers associated with this. It leads to loss of lives and properties.
The Executive Secretary of the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, Mohammed Lawan Sharif, praised the initiative, highlighting the collaborative effort of NEMA and the CDS group in strengthening community resilience. The training began with a session on the role of volunteers in disaster management, underscoring the principle of safety first, which was followed by an in-depth presentation on fire prevention and mitigation with a focus on tanker explosions, as well as another session on managing mass casualties. Practical demonstrations by officials and corps members featured prominently in all the sessions. Highlighting the importance of the initiative, the NEMA CDS coordinator and participating corps members pledged to share the knowledge gained with their communities towards enhancing grassroots awareness and disaster preparedness. In Maiduguri, Elizabeth Abdumalik, NTA News.
It's now time to return to Ogochukuka in Abuja, who I'm sure is ready to continue from there.
Thank you, Abubakar. Back here, Nigeria must urgently review and reform its firearm laws, aligning them with the realities of the 21st century warfare and evolving threats, with a view to effectively confronting the diverse challenges and ensuring national security. The Director General, National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, Deputy Inspector General of Police Johnson Kokumo, made this known at a workshop to review Nigeria's 1959 Firearms Act. Defense correspondent Olajide Bello reports.
In an era where global security dynamics are rapidly shifting, Nigeria stands at a critical juncture in the evolution of its defense and law enforcement strategies. The 1959 Firearms Act, which was served as a cornerstone for regulating weapons, was designed in a vastly different security landscape. Today, Nigeria faces an asymmetric warfare environment characterized by insurgencies, organized crime, and militancy, where non-state actors often possess weaponry that outmatches traditional state forces.
We aim to scrutinize the existing provisions of the Firearms Act, identify gaps, and propose amendments that align with global best practices.
As we re-examine a piece of legislation enacted over half a century ago, we must ensure that our legal frameworks remain not just relevant, but also robust enough to confront the rapidly changing dynamics of illicit arms flow.
The theme for the workshop is a review of Firearms Act of 1959 in the context of current security realities and proliferation of illicit and light weapons, or Lajide Bello. NTA News.
The House of Representatives has adopted a motion to admit President Bola Tinubu in its hallowed chamber for presentation of the 2025 budget estimates on Wednesday. This followed a 24-hour shift in the presentation of the budget from Tuesday to Wednesday. National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikwe reports.
The House unanimously consented to a motion moved by the House leader and seconded by the minority leader to admit President Tinubu into the chamber to lay the 2025 appropriation bill on Wednesday. This is pursuant to Order 6, Rule 4 of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives.
Mr. President will be coming to the chamber tomorrow for the presentation of the 2025 budget, and in view of that, it's my pleasure to announce the admittance into the chamber the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Vice President, the President of the Senate, Senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ministers, government officials, and other dignitaries to receive an address from the President on the 2025 budget estimate.
In other resolutions, lawmakers sought investigations into fire disasters in some markets nationwide, as well as a multi-billion naira tractor supply agreement by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security.
A year after the agreement was signed by the National Agricultural Development Fund and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, no single tractor or implement has been received in Nigeria despite the huge public funds involved in this transaction.
Calls the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation to provide immediate relief materials for the victim of the fire outbreak. The Ministry of Commerce Industry to construct the market, the Lafia Modern Market, and use bond bricks to ensure fireproof.
Several establishment bills scaled second reading.
Bill for an act to establish Federal College of Entrepreneurship and Skill Acquisition, Maiduguri, Borno State, to provide full-time courses, teaching instructions and training in technology.
That's a bill for an act to provide for the upgrading of the Ehamufu College of Education into a Federal University of Education, Ehamufu, issues the local government in Enugu State, and for related matters be read for the second time.
The House passed two bills to amend the acts establishing the Northwest and Southeast Development Commissions. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
A rice mill located along Ida Ibaji Road in Kogi State has been gutted by fire. Lukman Mohammed reports that several milling machines were consumed by the fire. The report is here presented.
According to an eyewitness, no cause of the fire incident was established as at the time of filing in this report. Owner of the mill, Dauda Tenimo, however, says no life was lost but property worth millions of naira was consumed by the fire. He appealed to government at all levels and public-spirited individuals to come to his aid.
Told me that I was told the fire come there. I said, why fire come there? Then as you rush there, I see everything they burn, everything they burn.
Chairman, Rice Millers Association, Ida local government area, Al-Hassan Abubakar described the worth of the property millions of naira.
So we are begging and soliciting assistance from the local government, the state government and the federal government to come to our aid.
If you are in your offices, at home, in your shop, once NEPA light is off, switch off all electrical appliances and apparatus. If you are leaving office, switch off all electrical appliances and apparatus.
This incident has raised the consciousness on the need to take precaution against fire accidents, particularly during this Harmattan season.
And Chika Okorie is next with the next set of reports from our Enugu Network Center. Hello, Chika.
Good evening and welcome to Enugu Network Center. The second town hall meeting between the Enugu State government and the people is an initiative to foster dialogue with residents of the state, fill their posts and keep them abreast with government policies and programs in the realization of a democratic administration. Chika Ugu reports that Governor Peter Mba assured that the move will guarantee transparency and accountability.
The town hall meeting, which brought together representatives of civil society groups, heads of parastatals, captains of industries, leaders of various union and organization, security agents, top government functionaries, among other key players, had the theme, Governance Issues, the Journey So Far. The governor reiterated his commitment to transforming Enugu State. He reassured that his administration will not rest on its oars in realizing its vision of 0% poverty headcount, grow the state's GDP, and make it the preferred place for tourism. Although the state government is on track, having achieved success in various sectors ranging from health, education, transport, infrastructure, agriculture, water, security, among others.
You have been quite gracious with your support and demonstrated remarkable patience in the past 18 months. We do not take that for granted. We will continue to earn your trust through the delivery of good governance.
Despite commendations and encomiums from attendees, they called for more work and sustainability of the projects in some sectors. They also aired their reservations on some policies.
You spoke about security and tackling issues of insecurity in our state.
The pensioners, the retirees, many of them are dying in their numbers because of gratuity and other remunerations they are entitled to.
In response to their questions and observations, the governor pledged delivery of good and people-oriented governance with assurance to tackle challenges bedeviling his administration. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
As part of efforts to simplify, sanitize and enthrone transparency in land administration and management, Governor Peter Mba has inaugurated the Enugu State Geographical Information System. Chika Ugu reports that this is another milestone achievement towards making the state the best on the ease of doing business.
The Enugu State Geographic Information System Service Bill was signed into law earlier this year, leading to the establishment of the Enugu Geographical Information System, NGIS. It is a service system designed to expedite application and obtainment of title documents as well as construction permits within 48 hours at the comfort zone of the applicants. According to the governor, the initiative goes beyond revenue generation and motivation of investors.
Today marks the end of the era of land grabbing in Enugu, unauthorized constructions. It also marks the end of double allocation.
Key players say besides growing the state's IGR exponentially, the optimized and digital system will provide the public with complete inventory of Enugu State land resources and eliminate bottlenecks associated with processing of land documents.
A real-time platform for users to conduct transactions like searches, applications, certifications, and geolocational activities. By implementing this cutting-edge technology, you are not only modernizing land administration, but also creating an enabling environment for investment
job creation and urban planning.
Members of the public were urged to take advantage of the seamless system to improve value for their lands, secure and acquire lands in the state. In Enugu, Chika Ubu, NTA News.
That's our contribution from here. Next is a commercial break, and after which the news continues with Sadia in Sokoto.
In Sokoto. With the requisite training and adequate remuneration, the conventional and social media can be handy in conflict resolution and making the three tiers of government more accountable and responsive to the people. These were part of submissions of stakeholders at a one-day workshop for working journalists organized by Sako State government in collaboration with a non-governmental organization, the Liberal Democrats. Abdullahi Ilalu reports.
The one-day workshop co-hosted by the Sako State Government and Sako Liberal Democrats aimed to equip journalists with cutting-edge skills and knowledge to enhance their service delivery. The interaction also recognized adequate training and remuneration as catalyst for making journalism a vibrant and formidable profession.
This workshop is an opportunity to deepen your understanding of the principles that govern ethical journalism and to explore best practices in the profession.
We are supposed to do our work diligently and inform the people of what is happening.
You should be very careful. You have to say don't to generate tension and crisis in Nigeria.
As a reporter in a radio station, television or print media, you cannot just go to a function unless maybe if your editor sends you, please go and cover so function for us. He'll be expecting feedback from you as a reporter of his media house.
Some journalists present applauded Sako State government for the unwavering support, acknowledging the crucial role journalists play in bridging the gap between government and citizens.
It's very important for a journalist to know what's good for him and what kind of information does he need to spread to the society.
We appreciate and we hope so that other associations like of this nature will equally come up with this a similar workshop for journalists and even social media.
The event brought together seasoned professionals from diverse media organizations, correspondents, chapels, and government house reporters. In Sokoto, Abdullah Omar Ilalu, NTA News.
Towards playing its critical role in promoting social justice and human rights in the society, the Nigerian Association of Women Journalists, Kebbi State Chapter, has extended the fight against gender-based violence to the Almajiris in the state. The campaign took place at an Almajiri school in Birnin Kebbi, sought to raise awareness about the vulnerability of Almajiri children to gender-based violence and the need for collective action to protect their dignity. Osman Abdullahi Shehu has more.
The Almajiri system, a traditional Islamic education system, aims to provide young boys with a solid foundation in Islamic knowledge, but the system has been flagged by reports of abuse, neglect, and exploitation. The chairperson of Nawaj, Hassan Abubakar Koko, said, as journalists, Nawaj have a critical role to play in shedding light on the issue and advocating for the rights and protection of the vulnerable children. She called on government, civil society organizations, and the general public to join hands in protecting the Almajiri from gender-based violence and ensuring their safety and well-being.
When we say gender-based violence, it can take so many forms. These Almajiri students, they are also prone to GBV. That is why we took it upon ourselves as the Nigerian Association of Women Journalists here in Kebbi State to come and sensitize them, to inform them on their rights. Whosoever tried to violate their rights, let them report.
The Islamic cleric in charge of the school, Mala Muhammad Usman, appreciated Nawaj for the enlightenment exercise, describing it as an educative engagement program, added that it is the first of its kind in the school.
This is a very important visit to us. We are happy. May God reward you abundantly.
During the campaign, Nawaj sensitized the students and the teachers about the effect of gender-based violence, emphasizing the need for victims to report to appropriate authorities for quick action. The team also distributed detergents and other sensitization materials to the students. Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
And those are the news updates from this end. It's now back to Ugochukwu in Abuja.
Thank you, Sadia. And now it is another early Christmas celebration for senior citizens across the country as Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu flags off the second edition of Renewed Hope Initiative Elderly Support Scheme nationwide. Under the program, a total of 9,500 aged will each receive the sum of 200,000 naira as support from the Renewed Hope Initiative. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo has details.
Aged and wise, but somehow feeble in strength, they represent a subset of the society who have been gracefully impacted by the withering hands of time. Their total well-being, physical, medical and otherwise, is a major concern that Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu is addressing with the national flag off of the second edition of the Elderly Support Scheme of the Renewed Hope Initiative at the Armed Forces Officers' Mess, Abuja.
This program is designed to support the welfare of our elderly citizens annually. 250 elderly citizens aged 65 and above in all 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Capital Territory, and veterans from the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association will be benefiting from this scheme. The governing board of the Renewed Hope Initiative has decided to increase the grant from 100,000 to 200,000 this year. A total of 1,900,000,000 naira will be disbursed across the nation.
While presenting a cash sum of 200,000 naira to some of the beneficiaries, the First Lady wished them a fun-filled Yuletide celebration and enjoined them to prioritize their well-being.
Eat well, stay hydrated, do little exercise like walking and getting adequate rest. Spend quality time with loved ones and do what you enjoy and makes you happy.
The Armed Forces community, led by the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, is happy at our unwavering commitment to the cause of the vulnerables, particularly the veterans.
We are going to support this program yearly. Ama has already made her own budget for 250 elderly persons, but we are adding more 250.
It's not just a responsibility, but a privilege to show our love and gratitude, where no one is left behind in an aging world which is inspiring and worthy of emulation.
Today's event is more than just a gesture of goodwill, but a reminder that your efforts and commitment for a better Nigeria is not forgotten.
Apart from offering free medical services to some of the senior citizens, the scheme, under the Social Investment Program of RHI, also provided free food items. From the Armed Forces Officers' Mess, Abuja, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
Selfless service, perseverance, and commitment in the nation-building process are the major marks of quality identifying the former President Muhammadu Buhari's successful life as a two-time President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This was the unanimous view of the former President's Executive Council members who converged in his hometown, Daura, for celebration of his 82nd birthday. Hussein Suleiman will bring us details in subsequent bulletins. And that's nationwide today. Many thanks for watching and compliments of the season in advance.